2014, and I'm going to add my next one. And the first decision I need to make is which one is my base image, which one is the baseline, which one am I measuring change from. So one of them is going to be my master, and I'm going to call my Inverloch 2014, which is a satellite image. I'm going to just rename my layer and just make sure I remember with my layer name that this is the master. Okay, so it's relative to this one that I am georeferencing everything. So now that I have all my layers here, and you're going to have more than I do, I'm going to go to raster, georeferencer. And in my georeferencer, I'm going to open a raster, not the master. Okay, so my all these are in, I think they are in documents. Hold on. Yeah. So 2014 was my master. So I'm going to open 2016. And now what I need to do is find places to georeference to say this is necessarily that spot. And I'm going to zoom into this with this little zoom in button. And what I'm going to use is roofs of houses, for example. So houses that have been around, the houses aren't going anywhere. They're going to be the same in different spots. So I'm going to add points now for the georeferencer. So this this house over here is quite distinct in its shape. It's going to be easy to find in my other image, in my master image. So when I press on this, I can tell it where I am in terms of the coordinate system, but remember, we're not going to care about a real coordinate system. We're just going to match all the other images to each other. So I'm going to, instead of putting in an X and Y of a true location for that point, I'm going to tell it, I'm going to look at the map canvas, and I'm going to choose from there. So I'm going to go to my master one. Sorry. I'm going to turn this one off. And now remember that house that we looked at. Let me have a look at what it looks like. Hold on, I need to go back to my georeferencer. It's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I need to find my image that looks the same. So where was my point? I'm going to start again. So I have my two open next to each other. It's easier to do. This one's really apparent. I'm going to do this point and use this one over here as my georeferencing point. And of course, these are not true coordinates. They're just the coordinates of the picture. I'm going to keep going with a few others. These two are very similar. I'm going to use a point here in the center of the roof. The more accurate I can be, the better. Okay, so I have two now, and try to spread them out throughout your image. So here we have the blue house between the red houses, and that's that house over there. And I can keep going. I don't have to use just houses. If I have big trees that have been around for a long time, the center of the tree usually doesn't change much. But of course you'll notice that big trees disappear sometimes when councils move them. So I have this big car park over there, but there's a tree here that is the same over here. I'm going to use it just to show you an example. Just mind the shadow there. But the center of the tree here and there. Okay, I don't have enough to georeference with. You will need to use about, so I have 4 points. You should use about 6 per image. And I'm going to start georeferencing 2016 relative to 2014. So I'm going to press play here. And it says set the transformation type. And it will be all the things unchanged. So I'm using a polynomial, nearest neighbor. That's how it's going to, because it has to kind of squeeze that image or rotate it a bit or fold it up a bit to make sure those different points match up, right? So these are all these transformation types. And I'm going to have to give it a new name. You can leave it as modified. I'm going to call it Georef 2014 master. Okay, so it's georeferenced against my 2014 image. And I'm going to say okay. And now that it has all the settings, press play again, and it's done. Okay, so as raster was successfully generated, I can open it now. If I look back, you see it, here it is, georeference masters, and I can see it here. So there's 2014, here's my georeferenced image, and there's my 2016